Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following North Carolina AA football matches that is happening on Thursday, August 31st, 2023. We will be providing our team, total and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. North Carolina State vs Connecticut. Take Wolfpack minus 15 points. And here is why. The North Carolina State Wolfpack has been trying to get going throughout the season and has graduate transfer Brennan Armstrong will be the starting quarterback here. Last season for the Virginia Cavaliers, he was 185 of 338, 54.7 completion percentage for 2,210 yards with 7 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. This team was 74th in passing yards with 226.1 yards per game, but scored 24.3 points per game, so it will be interesting to see how the offense works. The defense of the Wolfpack has been the strength of the team as they were tied for 14th in the nation with 19.4 points per game. Junior quarterback Aiden White is looking to take the next step as he recorded 46 total tackles, 36 solo, 10 assisted with a sack, 4 interceptions with 1 return for a touchdown and 9 pass deflections. This defense needs to continue rising if they want to win here. It is being reported that Penn State transfer Taquin Robertson is going to get the nod under center over last year's starters Ian Turner. He suffered a torn ACL in the opening game last season after going just 1 of 2 for 10 yards in the opener. Robertson adds a bit of ground and pound to the position as well, as he also ran 3 times for 8 yards, 2.7 yards per carry, with a rushing touchdown in that game. He has only completed 12 passes in his collegiate career, so it will be interesting to see how he does in the second year with the Huskies and recovering from a severe knee injury a little over a year ago. This team needs to produce more than the 19.4 points per game they averaged during the 2022 season. The North Carolina State Wolfpack are the favorites to win this game. They have a more experienced team and a better defense. The Yukon Huskies are a young team and their quarterback, Robertson, is new to the program. Brennan Armstrong, the Wolfpack's quarterback, is also new to the team, but he has experience playing against Power 5 defenses. I expect the Wolfpack to score early and often and win this game by a comfortable margin. Our total pick is over 47.5 points. And here is why. This game is going to be interesting with the new clock rules, but these offenses both should be better than they were last season. When these teams faced off last season, they combined for 51 points, and now with better quarterback play, there should be more points. Tackling is always rough in the first few games, with only a few fully padded practices. Armstrong should do well in this game and reach the implied point total. The Yukon offense is not a complete pushover and have only 3 new starters this season. Nebraska vs Minnesota. Our team pick is Cornhuskers with the points. And here is why. Cornhuskers fans have had a trying 6-year hiatus from a winning season and are now counting on first-year head coach Matt Rhule to improve upon their disappointing 4-8 2022 record and get them back on track. Rhule has the resume, having turned around both the Temple and Baylor programs over the past decade. He inherits talented quarterback Jeff Sims, who transferred from Georgia Tech in the offseason. The 6'4", 220-pound Sims threw for 1,115 yards and 5 touchdowns, while rushing for 288 yards and a touchdown over 7 starts for the Yellow Jackets before going down with an injury last season. The running back core is intact, with 3 of the top 4 rushers returning, including Anthony Grant, who led Nebraska with 915 yards and 6 touchdowns. The wide receivers are a bit more in question, with several potential starters vying for a job, including freshman Malachi Coleman. Nebraska's new defensive coordinator, Tony White, is hoping to improve upon his team's 424.3 yards allowed per game, ranking them 102nd in the country, and help win some close games. He will have many productive veterans to work with, as the top 3 tacklers and a large percentage of the secondary are returning for the new season. Rhule has been quoted on multiple occasions, stating that special teams is a strength of his squad and that they could win us 2 games a year. The Cornhuskers lost 4 games last season by 3 points or less, and they will be counting on their new coaches and quarterback to lead them to victory in those types of games this year. Minnesota lost 3 of their last 5 games against the spread to close out 2022, and that was before losing their top 3 offensive players to the NFL in the offseason. Despite their disappointing season, the Cornhuskers pushed or won against the spread in 5 of their last 6 games overall and pushed or covered in 3 straight games on the road. Nebraska has also won 4 of their last 5 games Austrian shillings against Big Ten opponents. New Minnesota quarterback Kili Akmanis was ranked 67 out of 69 among Power 5 quarterbacks in the nation by 247 Sports, and he came in last among Big Ten field generals. With many significant questions for Minnesota on both sides of the ball due to player exits and the trend supporting the Cornhuskers, most signs point to Nebraska covering on the road in the season opener. Take under 43.5 points, and here is why. 3 of the last 4 matchups between these two squads have gone under the point total, including a game that saw only 33 points in total scored at Nebraska last season. The Golden Gophers went under the point total in 3 of their last 4 games in the regular season and 23 points or less in 5 of their last 7. After losing several key offensive players to the NFL during the offseason, including their star QB and running back, the Golden Gophers may struggle to put significant points on the board. Their defense was stingy at home in 2022, allowing 13 points or less to their opponents in 7 of their 8 games at home. The Cornhuskers went under the point total and managed to score only 14 points or less in 4 of their last 5 games of the 2022 season. With both teams breaking in new players at key positions on offense, most signs point to a lower scoring affair in Minnesota on Thursday evening. Florida vs. Utah. Go with the Utah Utes to cover the spread in their own building to start the year off on the right foot. And here is why. The Florida Gators had to find a new quarterback for this season after Anthony Richardson declared for the 2023 NFL Draft. They were able to find a replacement as junior quarterback Graham Mertz transferred from Wisconsin and will get the start to begin the year. Looking at his stats from last year with the Badgers, he was 164 of 286, 57.3 completion percentage for 2,136 yards with 19 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. The starting wide receivers are all returning from last season, but the right side of the offensive line is brand new, so it will be interesting to see how they do here. The Gators' defense struggled a bit last season as the team allowed 28.8 points on 415.8 total yards per game. Junior defensive end Princely Emmanuelin is returning to the program, and he had a strong season last year as he had 39 total tackles, 16 solo, 23 assisted, with 4.5 sacks and a pair of forced fumbles. If he can be a big player off the edge, it can really help the defense get going in this game to start the season. The Utah Utes were able to pick up 10 wins last season and won their 2nd consecutive Pac-12 conference championship, but want to make the college football playoff this year. Senior quarterback Cameron Rising is returning to the team this season and is looking to continue improving. In 2022, he finished 249 of 385, 64.7 completion percentage for 3,034 yards with 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Rising is dealing with a knee injury and is questionable for the opener. Even if Rising is unable to go, this offense has a lot of experience with one another, so it will be interesting as there is not a big learning curve for the Utes at the beginning of the season. Graham Mertz is making his first start for the Gators, but his completion percentage has decreased in each of his seasons in college football. The Utes are the home team for this game and have not made many changes to their offensive lineup. They have only a few injuries. Utah has been a dominant team, winning the Pac-12 Conference Championship 2 years in a row. They are getting stronger, while Florida has gotten weaker with the departure of Anthony Richardson. Our total pick is under 46 points in this game to kick off the season for both teams. And here is why. The defense for the Utah Utes did a very solid job last season as they gave up 20.4 points on 325.3 yards per game. A big reason for their success was the fact they were able to give up just 107 rushing yards per game. Their secondary is going to look a lot different this season as quarterback Clark Phillips III and safety R.J. Hubert are no longer with the program. That means junior safety Cole Bishop has to step up as he finished last season with 83 tackles, 47 solo, 36 assisted, with a fumble recovery, an interception, and 3 pass deflections. The total has been dropping a bit as this game opened with a total at 48, but dropped a pair of points since then. It is going to be interesting to see the rules become a little more pro as the clock continues to tick down after a first down for the first time this season, meaning fewer total plays will happen. Graham Mertz is going to get his first start with the Gators, so it might be a slow start for him. Cameron Rising is dealing with a knee injury that could slow him down just a tad, and these defenses should play well, specifically up front.